Tonight, the head of the NDP believes his party should have won the seat in St. John's East Kitty-Vitty. And he's not the only one speaking out.
There's a lot of errors in this election, and we called it back then. We said it was wrong. Against all advice, Liberal government forged ahead with election 2021, which we all know they should never have.
A contentious COVID election, more reaction to yesterday's settlement that got a cabinet minister walking away.
Here in the Twillingate area, Jack Troake is a household name.
He depended on himself to make a living. He didn't depend on anybody else.
He didn't call where they were from. Come on in, boys, come on in. He'd put on the kilo.
We'll tell you a little bit about the impact he made and how his passing has affected the people here. That's story tonight on Here and Now.
A young kickboxer from Conception Bay South has had some amazing success on the Canadian and world circuits. I'm Jeremy Eaton, and I'm going to tell you about Isabel Quinton coming up.
This is CBC Here and Now.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Heather Gillis. We have more reaction tonight to yesterday's shocking settlement that saw Elections NL admit there were errors in the 2021 election and which prompted a cabinet minister to resign. It's not good enough for Opposition House Leader Barry Petton. The PC MHA for Conception Bay South says he has long lobbied for an independent investigation into the chaotic pandemic election. He says issues were flagged in a number of districts, not just St. John's East Kitty-Vitty. That's where John Abbott won by just 53 votes. Petton told reporters today that he wants answers from Premier John Hogan, who previously served as Minister of Justice and Attorney General.
A lady in my district who was turned 100 recently, she was 96 at the time, she'd lost her right to vote. Now, luckily I had enough margin, it didn't affect me, but this person should never have lost her right to vote. So we've seen that coming out there yesterday. They've proven that people lost the right to vote, which is unconscious. You know what I mean? It should never have happened. And I think the blame does rest squarely with elections that should never have been called in 2021. And I think the people in charge should have to answer those questions. And I think right now the Premier of the province is probably missing in action. He should be in front of the microphone as well, because he's not clean on this one. He needs to speak out too.
And the NDP leader, Jim Dinn, calls yesterday's settlement vindication. He says it's proof that Alison Coffin should have won the race in St. John's East Kitty-Vitty. Dinn believes that Coffin should have served the district for the last 4 years. Liberal MHA and Cabinet Minister John Abbott announced yesterday that he will step down. Elections NL has confirmed that there were errors in the election and that some voters did not receive special ballots.
Obviously, there were enough irregularities that we would have had, that Alison would have been the representative there. Simple as that. They obviously didn't want this evidence to come out. That would be part of my assumption here. If the Liberals figure they had a strong case, they would have followed this. But they obviously they would have followed through on it. But obviously, there's a recognition on their part that this court case would have gone badly for them and for the electoral process.
In other news now, the board that runs 10 bulk waste facilities on the island is pumping the brakes on a more modernized access system. As Terry Roberts reports, users will have to wait until January to obtain access cards.
Last year, there were more than 34,000 visits to the 10 waste recovery facilities in eastern Newfoundland, including the one here in Whitburn. Users dropped off everything from mattresses and shingles to appliances, electronics, and worn-out tires. No organic material accepted here. No paints, no cardboard, no hazardous waste. And commercial waste haulers are not welcomed. These bulk garbage sites in locations such as Clarenville, Old Perlican, and Bay Bulls are operated by the Eastern Regional Service Board under the leadership of this man.
This is free of charge to any of the residents.
But a plan to better monitor who uses these sites and what they're discarding has stalled. A card access system was supposed to become mandatory on April 1st, with a card issued to eligible households, each with a unique QR code. It works like this.
So basically you get in the line and you come up to the gate and the site attendant We'll take the card.
What do you get on today, sir?
I got an old hot water tank.
Okay, that's all you got, is it?
All I got, yeah.
No recycling, nothing in black bags, no food, garbage or anything?
No, sir.
Okay, you been here before?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yep.
you know where to go, over there in the metal coil.
In the metal
Back
coil,
in, toss it out, and free to go.
Thank you very much.
No worries,
Have a good day.
one.
So it's as simple as that. You just
Up to now, site attendants were using old-fashioned paper clipboards.
with the QR code now, they scan it, it's automatically sent over to our system through Wi-Fi, and it's uploaded immediately. So we know exactly who's coming and going, what time they were there. It's about making it better for everybody.
The service board wants to make sure it's only issuing these cards to people who own property in its service area. So it's requiring users to include a civic address on their card application forms. But that's causing problems for those in unincorporated communities where there are no civic addresses. There's been pushback, so the board has delayed full implementation of the card system until January 2nd.
We've worked with them, we've changed how we accept their ID now.
So for those without a civic address, the board is now accepting a copy of a land deed as proof of address, even an Amazon delivery receipt.
Show us what you have, that you can ID that this is your property and that you own it and that you are entitled to have the card, and we're working with them that way. So like we're pretty flexible on what you can show us.
So far, more than 5,300 cards have been issued. Terry Roberts, CBC News, Whitburn.
Government is making information about crime in this province a little easier to access. Justice Minister John Haggie announced a new virtual crime dashboard today. It's available on the provincial government's website. It lays out statistics on different types of crime based on information from more than 40 RCMP and RNC detachments. Minister Haggie says he hopes the dashboard will spark more discussions between the community and law enforcement.
This, I think, will provoke discussion, but it will provoke discussion around a common area when it is clear what the current figures are for a community and what the past 4 or 5 years of statistics also show. It's broken out because of the way the data is supplied. It comes from detachments, be they constabulary or RCMP, and each detachment has a group of communities of greater or smaller size that are attached to it.
People in the province are remembering the life of Jack Troake this week. Troake spent a lifetime on the water and was an outspoken advocate for all things in the fishery, including being an ardent supporter of the seal hunt. He died last week at the age of 88. Troy Turner visited his hometown of Twillingate to bring us this story.
He was a leader among fish harvesters and sealers, a raconteur who fought to protect a traditional way of life. But for those who loved him, Jack Troake was so much more.
Wonderful husband. Wonderful. Yeah, good as gold. We had a wonderful life together. Although he was gone a lot, you know. He didn't know much about rearing up the children because he was gone away to work.
Florence and Jack Troake were married just shy of 71 years. They were teenagers when they first met.
He was sweet looking.
Together they raised 2 boys, Hardy and Gary, and lived off the sea's bounty.
I was more boss than Jack was, because Jack was more quieter than me.
He might have been quiet at home, but to those in the industry, Jack Troake was anything but.
The very minute that John Cabot fired the first basket, that's how we caught the first fish here in the province of Newfoundland, back about 400 years. The very minute he fired the first basket overboard and caught the first codfish, from right on down to the present day, the fishermen in this province have been screwed.
At one time when I grew up, the best fishermen, the best sealers, the best hunters, birds, they were the heroes of the community. And you try to be like them. Jack was a colourful man. Yeah, he was well known around, you know, Jack was. And I always liked his stories, and he has some good stories too, Jack did.
Author John Gillett is a bit younger than Troake and has admired him for a lifetime.
We both were born in the same cove, in Arts Cove in 28. And I pretty well knew Jack all my life, you know. And Jack was Troake was a fellow that, you know, you looked up to Jack. You know, he was a very knowledgeable man, and he was very serious about the fishing industry. And then when something went against his beliefs, and that he was very, he called CBC or he called somebody and he protested against it.
That sought-after voice fought court battles and didn't shy away from the court of public opinion, especially as it related to the seal hunt.
History will look fondly on Jack Troake for keeping up our Newfoundland culture. He was a fighter for our way of life and our culture. And it's too bad we don't have more like Jack Troake. He was a very intelligent man. I mean, if they come up with some kind of these regulations there that was taking away our culture and that, well, Jack was the first one on it, you know, complaining about it on the radio and TV or whatever, you know.
According to his wife, however, the fights ended there.
He was a good husband, I must say, and he wouldn't have wanted to pick like have no row or nothing like that, you know. He just go on, whatever happened, you go on. That's what thing I've been talking about him and me now. Yeah, yeah. He was good like that.
The void felt by the passing of Jack Troake will be evident among the wharves in this province and for those in the fishery and the seal hunt of days gone by. But it'll be especially felt here, where people called him friend and family. Troy Turner, CBC News, Twillingate.
A kickboxer from Conception Bay South has been busy this spring. Isabel Quinton fought her way to gold in 2 divisions at the National Championships before boarding a plane bound for Turkey. That's where she competed in the 2025 Turkish Open World Cup. The teen took some time from training to talk with CBC's Jeremy Eaton.
The sport of kickboxing is on the rise in Newfoundland and Labrador, with athletes from here fighting at the national and international level. And one of the rising stars is Isabel Quinton. Whoa! That's her.
When I was a kid, I really just wanted to join karate, so my parents put me in Taekwondo, and then it switched over to kickboxing. And then he was like, "Want to fight?" I was like, "Sure, bye." I've been to Toronto, I've been in Niagara Falls, then we went to Budapest, and then Turkey. That was my first really big competition. It was a really good experience. Like, Turkey was beautiful, first of all. It's such a nice country. We had such a good venue. It was a massive tournament, and it was just really, really good competition. In amateurs, we go off by points, so it has to be, a clear shot to like any of the scoring targets. It is quite difficult to get a point. There's a lot of criteria. And after the fight, I knew it was so close. So I looked up at the crowd, like the Canadian team, and they could see the score. So they were cheering, so I assumed I won. So I got super excited, went over to my coach, and he said, "Good job." I was like, "All right, I won." Over here, we got the CBS Junior Female Athlete of the Year for 2024. And we have the best junior female athlete of the 2025 National Championship. And then up there, we have the Turkish Open Waco World Cup gold trophy.
And what about these?
Over here, we got 2 national belts and the Turkish Open gold medal. Good. I just love the thrill of the fight and the competition. It's a challenge. It's nice. You grow with people around you, and something about, sparring every weekend. It really brings people together, believe it or not. When you're punching each other in the face, your love grows with every single time you get hit.
Jab, backward. Beautiful.
As someone has 20 years of experience within this sport and in this industry, I honestly say that she is really, really gifted. She's such a special athlete. The 2 things that stick out in my mind are her work ethic and consistency. I would say reach for the stars, but she's going to go past them. Honestly, she really is. Listen, keep watching for this girl.
We got the North American Cup, which is the first international Waco event in North America. So I'm going to that this September. We're going to see where that goes, and then World Championships for juniors is next year too.
1, 2, sweep. Whoa. Beautiful. One more time. Last one.
Your weather on the way. Headlines: risk of thunderstorms tonight for some areas. We may even see a few flurries in Labrador, and then we've got a nice weekend ahead. I'll get into all the details coming up.
Like any family who loses a loved one, they have to go through the process of going through all of their loved one's meaningful life collections. And, you know, it can be a big task if someone, you know, had a big life.
Mementos and memorabilia from the life of legendary hockey broadcaster Bob Cole. They're up for auction. Coming up, we'll hear from his daughter, Hillary, about the treasures that are up for grabs for hockey fans. Welcome back to Here and Now. A group that's helped more than 6,000 young Canadians fight cancer is celebrating a victory of its own. Young Adult Cancer Canada is turning 25. It's an anniversary that coincides with founder Jeff Eaton's own cancer recovery. Our Zach Gowdy spoke with Eaton about the significance of this major milestone.
I am feeling a lot of things with Yak's 25th anniversary. I would say the biggest thing I'm feeling is gratitude. Gratitude to be doing the work that we are doing still every day. The biggest piece of gratitude for me, man, is that I'm still here to be on this team. My name is Jeff Eaton. I am the founder and executive director of Young Adult Cancer Canada, and this week, our organization turns 25.
Really inspiring that we are here for 25 years and that we're planning to be here for the next 25 years.
Having a support system and having that through YAC has a major impact on just the way you view your diagnosis and how you go about your life moving forward.
Why the focus on young people specifically?
Yeah, why? I guess because when I started YAC, I was one. There's a lot of things that are different about having cancer as a young adult. For me, I was diagnosed at 22 and again at 25. I had this experience as a young adult. I learned a lot of valuable things, and I felt other people could benefit from those learnings. We looked across Canada for big brothers and sisters who were helping young adults, who's giving support or helping young adults or doing anything with young adults and cancer. And we didn't find anybody. So at that time, our vision really became obvious to us was we got to go be that resource for these young adults that are like I was one time.
It's like a 2-hour event. It's going to be super casual. Okay. We've got 8 people from Scotia Wealth there. We are at the YAC HQ office right now. We are gearing up to celebrate our 25th anniversary. We're kind of a 2-part effort. We're working really hard to raise the funds to make sure that our amazing programs and resources and support can happen to our 6,000 young adult cancer survivors all across Canada. The other part is really the magic. So our developing and our executing of programs for our community. So we have an online virtual chat program, and then we have an in-person stream of programs as well. So we offer a 4-day conference, we have Retreat Yourself adventures, all kinds of things that kind of meet people where they are.
I remember thinking that I was strong enough on my own, that I didn't need to connect with people who have been through it. Hi, I'm Nikki Carew. I have been going through cancer since 2019. Well, I will actually even tell you a story that I've never told anyone before. So I was in the grocery store one day, and it was a really tough day, and off walks Jeff Eaton, and I broke down crying in the middle of the grocery store. I'm not that person even, but I seen Jeff. It just was a release because that's the comfort that they provide. And a lot of times you don't want to put how you're feeling on your family and friends. You don't want to, have that impact, whereas the people and part of YAC who've been there, they understand that they've been through it. They are okay with hearing that and helping you through it.
As a young adult cancer survivor myself, I walk by the banners on the wall and I can see the message that I left from 10 years ago when I did my first retreat. So being a young cancer survivor who knows the impact of YAC, we really, really love what we do every day, and I think it shows in our work.
That is the pure power of the organization, because when a new YACer joins YAC today, they get to tap into that wisdom of the lived experience 6,400 YACers strong. And our goal is to continue to grow that thing, man. Like, there's hundreds of thousands of Canadians that are living with or beyond a diagnosis of cancer as a young adult. So that is what I mean when I say I am grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be here for the anniversary. You are right. but I'm grateful to be here for all of it, man.
Details.
Welcome back, and Ashley is standing by with your weather now, and it's been a beautiful day here in the east, but with the warm temperatures and dry weather, of course, that can increase our chances of having forest fire. So Ashley, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, that's right. I've been keeping my eye on the fire risk map for a while, for obvious reasons. But taking a look at the risk right now, up across Labrador, a low risk because temperatures, and we've been seeing cooler temperatures along with the rain. And then most of the island is actually low risk as well, with the exception of parts of Central, and then where you're under a moderate risk, and then very high for Bonavista North. Now, this is no surprise because of the temperatures that we've been seeing, even today, topping out in the low to mid 20s, hot spots, Terra Nova, Grand Falls, Windsor, where you're seeing your temperatures around 25 degrees. And then we even got we have some warm temperatures rather for southeastern portions of Labrador as well. Cartwright, Mary's Harbour, all seeing temperatures around 21 and 22 degrees. But it is going to be a very different story as we head through the rest of tonight. cold front's going to sweep through in behind that more northerly flow and some much cooler temperatures as well. Some showers working their way from the west coast through to central at the moment. And then we've got some thunderstorm potential as we head through the next couple of hours, especially for southeastern portions of Labrador. And I think that's where the best risk is because we are already seeing some lightning associated with some of those showers. Not so much across the island, but that risk certainly still there this evening through central and along the northeast coast there. So don't be surprised to see or hear a few rumbles of thunder with that. So those showers through central are going to work their way further east as we head through the overnight tonight. Labrador, much colder air as we see more northerly flow, which is going to bring the risk of some snow as we head through tonight. I do think it'll be very isolated as far as who sees that snow, and really into tomorrow morning as well for the Upper Lake Melville area. I do think it's really only the upper elevations, higher elevations rather, that are going to see that snow risk. But again, most of us will see that shower chances end through tonight, with the exception of the northern peninsula. You'll see that through most of the overnight tonight. Temperatures are going to stay mild for central and eastern Newfoundland. 10 to 13 degrees will be the overnight low. Single digits for the west coast once that front moves through. And then Labrador, that's why you're going to see some snow. Your temperatures tonight, 1 to 3 degrees, a little warmer there along the strait. As we head into tomorrow, again, the potential for some wet snow in the upper higher elevations around the Upper Lake Melville area will hang around through the morning. I think coastal areas of the Big Land will see that as well. And then as far as the island goes, other than southern Newfoundland, most of us will see those shower chances through the day as well. The Avalon will see sunshine for most of the day. Clouds will be on the increase into the afternoon, and then we start to get into some of those shower chances. But the temperature will stay mild in the beginning of the day. Once that front moves through and those winds turn more northerly, those temperatures will certainly drop once we see those showers move through. So tomorrow will start nice, but it definitely will end fairly chilly. And then we've got some more shower chances moving in for Labrador, mainly the coast, but that will be overnight into the first part of Saturday. There's your temperatures tomorrow. So much cooler for the west coast, 9 to 12 degrees. Central east, you're looking at low to mid-teens as your daytime highs, and there's that wind shift that I was talking about. So from westerly to northerly winds, that's when we'll see that drop in temperatures, and you will certainly feel it. And then for Labrador, you're looking at your temperatures sitting in the single digits again for southeastern portions of the Big Land. Most of the coast, really. Otherwise, you'll be between 10 to 11 degrees, but those northwesterlies will be a little gusty. We'll be talking about 20 to as much as 40 kilometer per hour winds. And as we head through the weekend, there are some mild temperatures in the forecast and plenty of sunshine. I'll break it all down for you coming up.
For 50 years, Bob Cole was a legendary voice in hockey, providing play-by-play to some of sport's biggest moments, from Hockey Night in Canada, the playoffs, and even the Olympics. Now fans can have a chance to take home memorabilia from Cole's career and his life here at Bartlett's Auction House in St. John's. And we're joined by his daughter, Hilary Cole. Hilary, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for doing this.
So first, tell us a little bit about this auction and how it came to be.
Well, like any family who loses a loved one, they have to go through the process of going through all of their loved one's meaningful life collections. And, you know, it can be a big task if someone, you know, had a big life. And my dad had a really big life. He did a lot of things, and the items that you'll see here at this auction are things that were really meaningful to him. My siblings and I didn't know what to do with them all. We knew that there was people who would appreciate them, who would want to have them, would want to have a piece of hockey history, Bob Cole history, whatever their attraction to it was. Mm-hmm. And when I found out about Wayne Bartlett's auction house, it was like the perfect solution. It was just perfect. And Wayne has been wonderful with helping us find homes of really caring fans for all of these things.
And that's wonderful. What kind of items are here? Can you give us a little bit of an idea what people can see here in this auction, Hilary?
Well, I mean, it's very easy to see. He's got lots of books and lots of paintings. There's lots of really beautiful framed memorabilia. Like, he was given a lot of gifts too, sort of. He did the last game in the Chicago Stadium, and so he got a gift of all the original 6 a print of all the original 6 stadium fronts, which none of them exist anymore. There's a couple of those, and he was given some really beautiful things. Wayne Gretzky was a great friend of his. And so the auction didn't get all of the memorabilia. There's lots that are still kept, but things like Wayne's gloves. And there might be a stick or two here, and then there's lots of books that are signed to my dad. And you know, as Wayne pointed out to me when I first talked to him about this, people loved my dad. They miss his voice and they miss what he brought to their lives, and this is a chance for them to have a little piece of that and to help them remember. It's a little bit emotional for me to see it all on the wall, because for me these are things that were part of his home. And they had more meaning for me when they were in his home and I was spending time with him, and now I see them in a completely different location. It hits you a little bit. But I love seeing him with his friends, because that's what hockey meant to him, was the people, the players, the coaches, the staff. And so there's lovely pictures of him with, you know, maybe John Beliveau, or a picture of him with another player, and those are the things that I know meant a lot to him.
Yeah, and there is so much here. What do you think hockey fans will think about seeing all of these things that once belonged to your dad?
You know, I hope it'll bring back their favorite memories. It's not lost on my family and I how lucky we are to be able to just dial up YouTube and get to hear our dad's voice. It's not him in the kitchen telling stories, but it's him at, you know, this other side of him that meant a lot to people all across Canada. I mean, he didn't have a home team. I mean, so sorry, Toronto fans, he didn't. So he meant a lot to people across the country, and so I hope that it for people seeing the auction, or you know, viewing the items or bidding on something, and it'll bring back their favorite memories that he helped to elevate for them.
Yeah, like you said earlier, we get to see a little bit of Bob Cole's private life here. Some of the books he read, some of the movies he watched. What are some of your favorite memories of your dad that the public might not necessarily know, like his voice?
I mean, I had a friend ask me a long time ago, so does your dad talk like that at home? I mean, kids would always ask me that in school. Does your dad talk like that at home? And I'd say no. But he did. He absolutely did. He was that passionate about everything that mattered to him. It wasn't, I mean, everybody got to hear how passionate he was about hockey. But he was that passionate telling a story about, I'm not exaggerating, a run-in with an actual mafia member. Like, so he's got all these mafia books because he's fascinated by that. He grew up in the 30s and 40s, and so some of it is like time and place. He grew up during the war. He had an older brother who went to war. We heard stories about that, and so he's got a lot of war books. He never left Newfoundland, despite, you know, him being encouraged to and asked to over and over and over. So there's some Newfoundland memorabilia here and some really important pieces there that are just a part of who he was.
What do you think your dad would think of all of this on display here for auction?
He'd feel really weird about it. I'm sure he would. I mean, he would say probably something. He was one of those people, a lot of Newfoundlanders are funny without realizing they're funny. And he was that. He would speak to you quite seriously, and we'd be in stitches roaring about just his delivery. He would say, sure, nobody wants any of that. You know, he would probably not see the value in it, and I have a little bit of that from him. But Wayne let me know quite clearly that, you know, everybody wants a little piece of this.
Right. Well, Hillary, thank you so much for your time and
thanks for doing this.
Sharing memories of your dad.
Yeah, thank you.
Some gymnasts from this province competed at a national event in Calgary last month, and they did quite well. I'm Jeremy Eaton. I'll have that story coming up.
Welcome back. Voters in this province will head to the polls 2 more times before the end of October. The writ could drop for the provincial election anytime before the October 14th deadline, while municipal elections are scheduled for October 2nd. Happy City St. John's is offering a crash course this weekend for people interested in running for municipal council. Our Jenna Head swung by City Hall today to learn more.
Yeah, so we're outside of City Hall today to talk about some municipal politics for the upcoming election. So on Saturday, June 14th, Happy City St. John's is hosting a campaign school, and that campaign school is for anybody looking to run for council, their campaign staff, or just anybody in the community that's looking to engage with municipal politics in this upcoming election.
What are the qualifications for someone to run for city council?
Yeah, so there's not really any qualifications, but what I would say is that what makes a good city councillor is a jack of all trades and master of none. So the things that you're going to have to do, you're going to have to, look after the streets, look after the infrastructure, and then also there's social issues on top of that municipal councillors have to be aware of. I've said this before and I'll say it again, I don't think there's any shame in losing an election because just inherently running yourself brings your network into the arena of municipal politics, and that makes the arena stronger. This is the only campaign school that we'll be doing, but throughout the election period, we're hoping to host some discussions with candidates. So hopefully we're going to do a at-large candidate talk and then also ward candidate talks as well. We have 4 different panels. Some of them range from 3 to 4 panelists per panel. The first panel we have Rob Nolan, CEO of MNL. He is a former chair of Happy City. We really tried to bring back a lot of people that had been involved with the organization previously. So Jen Crow, the executive director of Choices for Youth, will also be one of our panelists, and Joshua Smee will also be our keynote speaker. So all of those individuals held the chair position at Happy City at one point in time. So we're really looking to reconnect with our existing network and promote how great Happy City has been for facilitating growth in the city.
The Lawrence O'Brien Arts Centre in Happy Valley Goose Bay is looking a little more like Wonderland this week. Students from Queen of Peace Middle School are performing their production of Alice the Musical. It's based on the Lewis Carroll classic Alice in Wonderland. We stopped by rehearsals to check it out.
I had a little chat with Miss Urquhart, as I know she's kind of on a similar mindset as I am, and trying to add to what's available for the students in the school. Not everyone is interested in sports and athletics, and we wanted to do something more in the arts. And we decided to apply for an International Grenfell Association grant.
Which I had no idea how to do. So luckily, Roxanne has done these things before.
So we applied, we gave our rationale, and they were generous enough to give us $12,000. We found a script that had multiple people playing various roles.
And we actually created some roles. Most of our animal roles actually were created. We added in some dialogue for them and took some lines from some other places to increase the amount of children we could have involved in the production. Of course, Alice, as you know, there's 9 Alices, so there was not originally 9 Alices, but we thought, one, it would be really kind of cute to have them switch in and out all the time.
It's been fun to be a part of this, and it was fun to help make the prop, and then the end result was a lot of fun to see.
Are you proud of where it's gone?
Yeah, a lot.
We put a call out to the parents, and we were hoping they would run with the props and the staging, and as you can see, they certainly did.
There have been some kids that have knocked our socks off with how they have, as you say, come out of their shell, or how quickly they've picked up lines.
Contradicting me, and what's more contradicting me, cricket and crockery, makes me very cross. The rest of you clearly says put a pint of pickled peppers in, if you please.
Excellent. It's so good. I take it that if you got the chance to do another musical again, you'd probably jump on it.
Oh, 100%.
Emergency crews in India are working into the night at the scene of the country's worst airline accident in decades. An Air India passenger plane bound for London, England, crashed Thursday afternoon with 242 people on board, including one Canadian. This social media video shows the jet slowly descending shortly after takeoff from the city of Ahmedabad, where then it disappears behind houses, exploding. It slammed into a medical school hostel. Officials say nearly everyone on the plane and at least 5 medical students on the ground were killed. Only one passenger survived, a British man who says he was sitting near an emergency exit and jumped out. Multiple investigations into the cause of the crash are being launched. And CBC News has confirmed the identity of a Canadian killed in that Air India plane crash. Nirali Patel was a passenger on that ill-fated airliner. She was a mother, a dentist from Mississauga, Ontario. We'll be right back. Well, it's lit and launched. The 2020 Canada Games torch is aflame, and it's on the way to St. John's. Former gold medal winners joined Mayor Danny Breen on Parliament Hill yesterday to mark the moment.
It's an honor to be here on behalf of the City of St. John's as we officially light and launch the Orange Store 2025 Canada Games Torch Relay. In a few weeks, the eyes of the country will turn to our province as St. John's proudly hosts the 2025 Canada Games. These games are more than a competition. They're a celebration of sport, culture, and our Canadian spirit. We're excited to welcome thousands of athletes, coaches, and volunteers and fans to our city. I know when you get there, you are just going to love it.
Tucker, come on, Tucker, don't look, just swim. Put your head down, kid, and swim. He's still got it, Hemstreet coming to him. Now just take your stroke in. Come on, Tucker. He's done it, 209-2-0. What a great swim. He won it by 4/100ths of a second. He's getting a standing ovation.
It's an honor to be here to be part of lighting a torch for a games going back to where I guess my sort of athletic journey began. It started before that. I did represent Team NL in Burnaby. I was that big. Didn't know what was happening. I got a chance to represent in St. John's, which was an amazing honor when you can put your own province's jersey on and stand up. I was fortunate enough to win a medal, and hopefully we made Newfoundland proud by doing that. And not only that, inspire the groups coming behind me. That's almost 50 years ago, and there's been a lot of good things coming out of the pool and other sports in Newfoundland. I really believe that the Canada Games had a lot to do with that, of helping Newfoundland and Labrador go a little more forward in sport.
For over half a century, since the very first games lit up in Quebec City back in 1967, the Canada Games have been much more than a sporting event. They've been a fundamental fabric, a part of strengthening Canada through the power of sport. May the spirit ignited here today inspire every step of the torch relay and fuel not only the dreams of the athletes who will compete, but everybody engaged in the Canada Games movement and everybody in this country. Thank you all. Merci beaucoup.
And Ashley is here now taking another look at your weather forecast as we inch closer and closer to the weekend. What's in store for people, Ash?
Yeah, so a fairly quiet weekend for the most part. Should actually be a beautiful weekend for getting stuff done outside for most of us. We are going to see a few showers in the mix, particularly up across Labrador by the time we get into Saturday morning. The Upper Lake Melville area, coastal areas of Labrador as well. And then we may see a little bit of cloud cover to start the day for the eastern half of the island, but it should turn into a beautiful afternoon. So periods of sun and cloud through the day. Again, the shower chances sticking around for the coast of Labrador and through central areas. It shouldn't amount to much, but that chance certainly still there. But overall, it should be a pretty decent Saturday. Our temperatures will be near or even a little bit above where we should be sitting this time of year. Daytime highs between 15 to 19 degrees across the island. Very similar temperatures up across Labrador as well. Anywhere from 12 to 19 degrees will be your daytime highs. And again, showers possible for parts of Labrador. Now, as we head into Saturday evening and then into Sunday, the showers will end for the most part, but we'll see another round move in for Labrador Sunday morning. This will be the case for the coast. And then for Lab West as well, that will spread across the Big Land as we head into the evening hours on Sunday. But overall across the island, lots of sunshine to start the day. Clouds will move in, so we'll see a mix of sun and cloud through the afternoon, but it should stay dry until we get into the evening, where the northern peninsula may see a few showers in the mix there as well. Overall, daytime highs again starting to creep up there a little bit for Happy Valley, Goose Bay and towards Cartwright, 18 to 20 degrees for your daytime highs. Otherwise, west and the north, you're looking at your temperatures around 11 degrees, and then across the island, upper teens, low 20s, the story. So pretty decent long range forecast. Pretty nice stretch of weather as well as we get into next week. We're looking at temperatures in the upper teens. Overnight lows, though, still chilly, 6 to 8 degrees, but some sunshine in the forecast as we get into Monday and Tuesday. And then for Central Newfoundland, your temperatures should be in the 20s. We may see a few showers by the time we get into Monday for Central. Western Newfoundland likely staying just a mix of sun and cloud, with temperatures ranging from 16 to 20 degrees into the beginning of next week. And then for Labrador, you're looking at a pretty nice stretch of weather as well. Some showers possible, though, by the time we get into Tuesday morning, and a bit of a drop in the temperatures. And then warming up for Lab West, you'll be in the mid-teens by Monday and Tuesday with a few showers by Monday. Our weather photo of the day taken on the west coast, Little Port. Look at this beautiful shot of the sunset there just over the ocean. Thank you so much to Leo for that. Any weather photos, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Thanks, Ashley and Leo. That's just a gorgeous photo of the sun setting there. And it looks like from Ashley's forecast, we will see the sun throughout the weekend, which I'm sure many people will welcome as we also inch closer to summer with some good weather to get outside. So that about does it for us tonight. You no doubt have noticed that I am upstairs in our newsroom for this evening's show. That's because our Land and Sea colleagues have taken over the television studio for a little in-house celebration to mark the 60th anniversary of Land and Sea, and it's very well deserved. We'll be back at the news desk downstairs tomorrow for Friday. Hope you can join us then. Good night and take care.